Long ago, beside the dark river Nyala, stood a quiet African village surrounded by thick forests and endless mist. During the day, fishermen filled their boats and children laughed near the water. But when night came, every door was locked. The elders believed the river belonged to spirits. They warned everyone never to answer voices from the water after sunset. Yet one girl never feared it. Her name was Amina. Amina was kind, quiet, and lonely. After losing her parents, she lived alone in a small clay hut near the edge of the village. Every evening, she walked to the river to fetch water. Unlike everyone else, she felt peaceful there. Sometimes, she sat silently beside the water and listened to the wind moving across the surface. It almost sounded like whispering. One night, while filling her water pot, Amina heard a soft male voice behind her. "Amina!" She froze. The river was completely dark. Again, the voice called gently, "Amina!" Fear crawled through her chest, but curiosity pulled her closer to the water. Then she saw him, a tall man standing waist-deep inside the river. His skin looked pale beneath the moonlight, and strangely, the water around him glowed. The man stepped slowly onto the shore. He was handsome, calm, and spoke softly like someone from a dream. "My name is Cato," he said. Amina stared at him carefully. "No one comes to this river at night," she whispered. Cato smiled. "Neither do you." For the first time in many years, Amina laughed. After that night, Cato returned again and again. Only after sunset. They walked beside the river under the moonlight. He told her stories about forgotten kingdoms beneath the water. He spoke about spirits, lost souls, and ancient promises. Amina slowly fell in love with him. Whenever she was near him, her loneliness disappeared. But something about him always felt strange. His clothes were always dry, even when he stepped from the river. The villagers began whispering. Amina smiled more than before. She no longer feared the night. One old woman watched her carefully and warned, "The river gives nothing without taking something back." But Amina ignored her. She believed she had finally found love. One full moon night, Cato held Amina's hands beside the river. "Come with me," he whispered. "Be my wife." A cold wind swept across the water. Amina's heart raced. "Yes," she said softly. The river suddenly glowed brighter, almost as if it had heard her answer. The village gathered for the wedding. Drums echoed through the night. People danced around the fire, while Cato stood silently beside Amina. Then the oldest woman in the village looked toward the ground. Her face turned pale. Cato had no shadow. The music stopped immediately. Fear spread through the crowd. "He is not human," the old woman whispered. Suddenly, the river began roaring violently. Huge waves crashed against the shore. Cato looked at Amina with sadness. "I was once human," he confessed. "Many years ago, the river claimed my soul." The villagers backed away in terror. Amina's eyes filled with tears. "You lied to me." Cato stepped closer. "I loved you." The river rose higher. The wind screamed through the trees. Cato stretched out his hand. "Come with me," he said softly. "You will never be alone again." Behind her, the villagers shouted for her to run. Amina looked at the terrified faces around her. Then she looked back at Cato, the only person who had truly loved her. Slowly she took his hand. The river swallowed them both. The glowing water closed above their heads. Then everything became silent. Cato and Amina were never seen again. But villagers say that on quiet moonlit nights, two figures still walk beside the river Nyala. One human, one spirit, forever together.